OpenClaw is not alive, although it does feel like it. Hey everyone, Jedediah Weller here, and I just spent about 2 weeks diving into OpenClaw, and here are some of my takeaways as a business owner and a software architect that I wanted to share with you. Not a very complicated video, just honest takeaways. So if you're a fellow business owner or you're thinking to become one, this might be some helpful information. So OpenClaw is a simple tool that basically has three things. It has memory, it has tools that it can use, and it has permission to run again. And that permission to run again, that's really the pattern that creates this magic effect. And it really does feel like magic because you can ask it to do something and it can keep iterating until it accomplishes that goal, whatever that goal is. For instance, last week, I built this automation system for LinkedIn that basically goes through all of my contacts and it looks to see at their signals. It looks to see, did they post something recently that I would find interesting? Have I not contacted them in a long time? And maybe I should follow up again, and it looks through all these different things. It does the analysis that I would do. And it says, hey, Jedi, you should probably contact this person, or maybe you should comment, right? You should reach out. That's a huge mental load off of my back because, think about it, as a business person, as a salesperson, it's a lot of work to keep in your head. What do I have to do every single day? And so now I essentially have an assistant that does that for me. And it took a while to kind of customize that, right? So it's not just, hey, OpenClaw, go do this thing. You have to actually spend time training that agent to be like you and to know what you would want. But that's the same thing you would have to do with an assistant or an employee, right? And the nice thing about this is that you have this specialized agent that does that single thing. So it took me about a week to create this and to really get it the way I liked it. And here are some of the things I found. So number one, with OpenClaw, it is great for automations. So anything that has data online that you can automate or that you do every day, you can essentially automate now. So that could be LinkedIn, that could be doing research, prospecting. For instance, we did this prospect project where it went through every single state, and it looked at all of the instructors for colleges in every single state, and it gathered information that we would find valuable to actually reach out to them, right? That was a huge initiative that would have taken weeks with an actual person doing it by hand. OpenClaw did it in a couple of days after we set it up for that. It can look through your email. Now, that's a little bit dangerous. I would not necessarily suggest that. But what you could do is you create a separate email account that's dedicated to just OpenClaw. You could actually automate your outreach, automate the email sending process. Again, OpenClaw, it's not truly smart, but it will do what you want it to do. And it can automate anything that has access to data online and anything that you can do online, it can automate. The second thing it was really good at is creating customized reports. So I had it pull all this information, about these prospects, and I needed a way to visualize it because, I can't just read all this Excel data. So I asked it to create some reports for me, some visual reports, and it did that. That's another thing OpenClaw is great at, is it can create these reports, but you really have to know what to ask for. So if you're not a great product person, and you're not a great visualization person, like actually creating reports yourself, might not be the best person to ask OpenClaw to do it. You might want to hire someone who has that experience to guide OpenClaw, and then OpenClaw can build it. The third thing, though, is that it is bad at making smart decisions. So this is very, very important. Let's say that you hired a senior developer or a senior product person, or just like a senior director of any type to do a job at your company. And all of a sudden, you ask them to do something that's dumb, that you didn't know was a bad request, but they did because that's what you're paying them for, as a senior person on your team. Well, OpenClaw does not have any consequences, right? An employee that you hire does. So if you hire an employee and you ask them to do something that's going to jeopardize the business or their role, they're going to feel the consequences, and it's going to be in their best interest to say, whoa, wait, maybe we should rethink this ask. Here's why it's not a good idea. OpenClaw will not do that. OpenClaw, it is just an AI agent that is doing what you command it to do. It might ask clarifying questions. It often asks clarifying questions, and it might caution you like, hey, are you sure you want to do this? But it will not always, because its job is to do what you are requesting. So keep that in mind when you're using OpenClaw. And it will not speak up, and it also doesn't really connect the dots between different things. So for instance, if you have multiple products, or let's say you have you have it automate your email and you ask it to do something. Well, it doesn't have access to your project management system. It doesn't have access to the phone calls that you've had. So it doesn't really know everything, and it makes decisions without knowing all those different things. And that can be dangerous too. Just keep that in mind. But the most important danger with it is really the security risk. Most importantly, it will do anything that you ask it to, and it can also do stuff that other people ask it to. That is the biggest security risk right now. I think it was Cisco, one of the big companies, just did an evaluation of the skills market. If you don't know what skills are, essentially OpenClaw has this marketplace for skills, which are third-party creators. They create these tools to help OpenClaw be more sophisticated. Well, they found that 26% of them are actually security vulnerabilities. They were created maliciously, where people put in secret code inside those skills that will send your social security number or any private information to like a particular endpoint to a particular place, probably overseas from wherever you're at. So that is a huge vulnerability. With OpenAI having now purchased OpenClaw, they may fix some of the skills market. They may do like more sophisticated audits or more gateways to actually submitting to OpenClaw. But until that happens, it can be dangerous if you don't know what you're like doing or what you're looking for. So keep that in mind. Also, most importantly, do not put this on your personal computer. No matter what, do not do it, because it has access to truly everything. And if you ask it, let's say you ask it to do a research project and it goes online, what someone like a bad actor could do, they could put a web page up whose sole purpose is to trick it. So if it stumbles upon that, it injects a bad prompt, and now all of a sudden it's installing software that should never be installed from a bad source, and now your computer is compromised. It could have access to your email, your messages, everything. So yeah, do not ever put it on your personal computer. Buy a computer. I bought a Mac Mini for it. It's a separate device, doesn't have access to anything else. It is completely separated. Super, super important. Most importantly, it is great for automation, but it does have its limitations right now. So if I were to give any advice, and take this with a grain of salt, it's not legal advice, not your security advice, but if I were to give advice, I would say hire a developer, that knows what they're doing. Obviously, you can hire us to do this for you, or you can hire anyone else, but just hire someone who knows what they're doing for the actual setup process. You really have to be careful when you're setting this up. And the other piece of advice I'd probably give is, if you want to automate some of these things within your business, like let's say you are spending 2 hours a day doing something monotonous, just something that is on the computer and really anyone you could hire can do it, you could probably automate that. I would not necessarily use OpenClaw to automate that. What I would do is I would actually create a system based upon OpenClaw that's really tailored for that specific purpose, because that way you don't accidentally open it up to bad actors and get hacked essentially, or get your information stolen. OpenClaw is great for certain things, but it is a high risk right now, so just keep that in mind. But with that said, it is definitely the future. I mean, it does feel like magic. It is a phenomenal tool, and I gotta say, software is going to look so different in the next 2 years than it does today. I personally believe that we're going to see something more like organic software, where instead of buying a software product, which is just confined to what it is today, you're going to actually buy a software product that has sections that are predefined and sections that you can customize however you'd like, where it's almost like an OpenClaw instance within that section. So imagine building your own reports or building your own dashboards or that kind of thing. I mean, it's really, really cool what it can do. And I think it really changes the game of what software is. So anyway, if you found that helpful, just my honest review, I really would appreciate like and subscribe. It does help us create more content like this, and does help the channel, and it's free for you, so why not, right? And most importantly, if you have any questions or comments, or you want to explore anything, just comment on the video below, and I am happy to answer any questions and to chat anything over. It is a really, really cool time for software. It is like a renaissance. I mean, it is evolving so quickly. This is one of the coolest times to be a software engineer. So I'm very, very excited about that. All right, everyone. We'll see you online, and stay warm and be safe. Talk soon.